Hello, and welcome back to the Bare Minimum Health Podcast. And I think I could still say Happy New Year because it's the first time that I'm recording a podcast. And I wanted to talk about the new year because I've noticed a shift in New Year's resolutions over the last decade that I've been a registered dietitian. When I first started out a decade ago, my first New Year's as a fully fledged registered dietitian, there was a lot of the old school New Year's resolutions, very diet culture laden of, I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to run a marathon. I'm going to, you know, go to bed on time every night. And some of those goals might be great for you. If you're already someone who runs, maybe you've done a 10K and now you want to do a marathon, that's a great goal. But it was a lot of people who were not active at all setting these big grand goals. And that sort of black and white outcome based goal, it doesn't leave room for the ups and downs of life. And often people would say these New Year's resolutions without any plan or thought behind it. And now people don't seem to be doing that at all anymore. I've seen people go one of two ways for the most part. Either they've said, my goal is to survive, which fair. 2020s have been a time. But I've also seen a lot of people becoming more balanced and nuanced and reflective of how they're setting goals to still take advantage of this energy that comes at the beginning of the year. As people with chronic illness, that old way of doing New Year's resolutions, the black and white, outcome based, it never worked. It didn't leave room for the ups and downs that come with our health. And the vague notions were not helpful for anybody. The bare minimum approach would be to focus on routines and mindset approaches and focus on the ones that make the biggest impact. You know, that's the bare minimum is the stuff that makes the biggest impact. That phrase, the bare minimum, it has this association with, slacking off, being insufficient, but it really is the stuff that's important. The stuff that has the biggest impact on how you feel, on your health overall. I did write an ebook on that. The link is down below in the description or show notes. So if I'm piquing your curiosity there, make sure you go and get that. But one aspect that I want to talk about today, when we're talking about goal setting and reflecting and setting intentions for the year, is the idea that health is a weak link problem. So I first heard about the idea of weak link problems listening to a podcast called Revisionist History a few years ago now. I was actually on a road trip. Um, and after he described what a weak link problem is, I immediately knew that health was a weak link problem. I actually pulled over my car and started scribbling notes. With a weak link problem, you get the biggest benefit by improving and strengthening your weakest link. If you think about, a steel chain, if you have one weak link, that's where the chain's going to fall apart. So by fixing that chain, by replacing it or, welding it, making it stronger, the chain won't fall apart. To get more specific on health, if you already have a decent sleep schedule, but you're completely inactive for whatever reason, you'll get more health benefits from adding a little bit of movement than you would from further optimizing your sleep. Even if you put a ton of extra effort into your sleep, you'll get more benefit from putting a little bit of effort into your movement. And that's the bare minimum approach, too. It's one of those key premises to keep in mind because as you're considering those goals or intentions, Our strengths are our strengths for a reason, right? It's a thing that we enjoy doing or that we're good at, Maybe sleep is something that comes really easily to you. So you want to think about the thing that you're already good about. You want to think about the thing that you're already good at. But by thinking about the stuff that you're struggling with and by improving a little bit places where you're really struggling, that's where you can get more out of the energy you're putting into setting goals and creating new routines and figuring something out. I put an article up on my website about the idea of health as a weak link problem. So if you want to read more about that, go check out that link. And also go check out the Bare Minimum Health ebook. It's free, so you just gotta sign up and get that. For myself, as the days start getting shorter and the nights start getting colder, I naturally turn to my journal and become very reflective, thinking about what happened in the previous year and starting to play around with ideas of how I want the next year to be. I do two different things. So I do set goals, especially professionally. I'll set discrete goals, but I'll also set an intention, a feel for the year, something that can cover all facets of my life. So, in 2024, I have two main professional goals. One is publishing regularly, so that includes here on the podcast, as well as the email newsletter that goes out every week. Maybe social media, I don't know. I've got a thing with social media. I need to explore that a little more. But I'm also committing to finishing the anti-inflammatory path to wellness course that I've been developing. It is up for pre-sale. I'll get into that in a moment, but that is a major professional goal. As far as my intention for the next year, I really like setting a word for the year and a word that has multiple layers and meaning. For this year, I've chosen the word flow, and I'm really discovering all the different ways that that can show up in my life. There is this idea of a flow state, which is this very satisfying productivity where you just go deep into whatever you're working on and you can get a lot done and accomplish a lot, but you're not feeling the uh, forced effort of trying to get shit done. Flow also is movement. So moving my body, being physically active in a intentional way. I have a toddler, so she's busy and I play with her, but I don't have an intentional movement practice right now. And that's something that I want to rediscover what that means for me. The other cool thing with the idea of flow is this idea that you can have flow better when you remove obstacles. So simplify is sort of a supporting word of, clearing clutter from my space, simplifying work processes. And there's a lot of ways that flow can show up in my life, and I'm interested to see what more can come from it. But really, when it comes down to it, to me, the New Year's resolutions or goal setting at any time of the year, intent is key. So reflecting, setting intentions or goals, things that will help me feel more balanced, motivated, engaged, and well. We want to feel good. We want to have energy. We want to do things. We want to be with the people we care about. We want that good feeling. And setting intentions or goals that support that and help you move to that on a more regular basis. That's what this should be, to me, should be all about, is reflecting on what's been, considering where you want to go, and how can you bring those together. If you are really wanting to focus on your health this year, I really do want you to check out the Bare Minimum Health Plan. It's free, it's available on my website. The link is below. And if you want to go even deeper, I mentioned the Anti Inflammatory Path to Wellness. That is a course that I'm offering. More information is also on my website, but it's on pre sale right now. So if you purchase it before the first module is released, you'll actually save $160. I'll be increasing the price after each module is released. So if you're interested in it, go check out my website and you'll save a ton of money if you join now. But if that's not where you're at right now, no biggies. I'll be here every week, is the plan. I will be taking breaks here and there, but most Thursdays you should be getting a new podcast episode coming to you wherever you've subscribed. So now I'd love to hear from you. What are you feeling at the start of this year? Did you set a goal, a resolution? Leave a comment or go to my website, send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Bye for now.